I came from, I haven't been in the food packaging industry. I haven't been in the packaging industry. I came from consumer electronics, actually. It was a few years ago that me and my co-founder came together. I came from a background in innovation. He came from an engineering background. And we wanted to do a little bit of good, with sustainable packaging. So the more we go into it, the more we realize it's not just a simple matter of biodegradable packaging. So I shall share a little bit of my journey with you. So this is a snapshot of what we do. Okay, largely speaking, Tria, the two things that represent us are sustainability and innovation. And in this case, the word Tria actually means tree. We believe that tree is a very fundamental structure for stability. In fact, if you have two legs, it wouldn't stabilize. So in this case, I think sustainability have a bigger scope to it than just environmental. I think it is very important to think of business viability. I think, is it going to last 10 years? So this is something that we often ask ourselves, okay, as well as a consumer need. So our HQ is in Singapore. That's where the innovation happens, marketing HQ, marketing and R&D. And of course, we have in China, our manufacturing plant, and as well as in Taiwan. Okay, so we came into the limelight last year when China experienced this white pollution hype, in a way, if I can put it that way. I think it is more so of taking a checkbox of addressing single-use plastic. So in this case, what happened is that the biggest, now I believe the world's biggest food delivery platforms, Meituan, okay, Meituan and Ele.me, all right, they are the two biggest players. They got sued by the consumers in court. I think it's around September last year. So that the sheer amount of waste created really was quite staggering. So we were one of the companies highlighted, and also a few events that we were showcasing our technology. So I think, really to put in the context straws, I think the last 2 months has been quite a lot of movements in straws. Okay, so Starbucks have, removed part of their straws for one of their drinks. And KFC in Singapore has removed straws. Okay, but I'm going to update you on something later on. And Burger King as well has been quite active in this area. Okay, but does a ban in straw really solve the problem? I think this is something which I want everyone to think about today. Okay, when I say KFC, there's a bit of movement. So this notice came out at a food court next to a KFC outlet in Singapore. So in the gist, I shall read it out to you. Dear customer, please start taking straws from the Kopitiam or Bagus for your KFC purchase. We are not KFC straw supplier. So please get the straws from them and they don't give you for their purchase. So, this is a story I like to share because it highlights two things. Okay, what is the value proposition of fast food? Convenience and indulgence. All right, if you don't provide the convenience, of course, by taking away straws from consumer, it's difficult. Okay, we have chosen a particular lifestyle today that's fast-paced, okay, where convenience is highly valued. Okay, by taking it away, it's really trying to change our fundamental lifestyle. Okay, so the second thing, of course, is plastic straw really addressing, what does it really unveil? I think the amount of waste of plastic everyone is very familiar with today is only the tip of the iceberg. Okay, but in this case, I just like to put in context, I'm addressing food service, food packaging. It doesn't go into bottled packaging or retail packaging. Okay, so the thing is, if you look at the background here, okay, that's the backdrop. Oops. That's the backdrop of, after a catering event, for example. Okay, that you throw away the plates, you throw away the cutleries, and it ends up with a lot of food waste. Okay, and because of this mess, globally, most food service packaging are not recycled. Okay, and it goes through an interesting journey from there. So I shall break it down to you. So the first point, they cannot be recycled. I've explained that. Okay, so they land up in the landfill most of the time, if not incinerated and landfill. Okay, so and some parts of it end up in the ocean. Okay, so I think this is not really a big percentage. It's a small percentage. And how the industry has reacted to this, they have actually looked into biodegradable materials. Okay, in an attempt that these biodegradable materials, when they end up in the open, it might biodegrade. But the awkward scenario here is biodegradables are not biodegraded. Okay, compostables are not composted. In the States, 99% of industrial composting ground rejects bioplastic. And why is that? Because it takes too long. Okay, because typically they will take things like organic waste, food waste, 2 to 3 months turnaround. They compost it, sell it off. But bioplastic, by international certification standard, requires 6 months to compost. That's too long. Okay, so that's the scenario today. And so we have a solution called Bio24, whereby the digestion happens in 24 hours. Okay, so let me explain. So it comprises of 3 parts. So basically nutria or material. Okay, we also have a digestion technology, which I'll show you more later on, and compost and enrichment. So this is a cyclic loop. Okay, so to show you before and after, so what you see there on the left, these are your typical food catering, cutleries, cups, paper cups. All right, they are made of our material nutria. So we put it in a digester. Okay, not very well rendered there, but basically they are put into a digester for 24 hours with some enzyme action. Okay. So this is actually after just 18 hours, what you see on the left. And that's the end result. We turn it into compost in 24 hours. I believe this is a world first. Okay, otherwise, if I can put it in context, I think we managed to achieve what the industrial composting ground can achieve in 180 times faster. So let's compare our material to other grades of bioplastics out there. So if you see on the left-hand side, we have nutria, then we have other grades of bioplastics, and of course, bamboo and birch wood, which is totally natural material. After 24-hour composting, and this is the end result. Okay, the other grades of bioplastic doesn't compost as well. So we have a full SKU of materials here for your extrusion, for blow molding, for extrusion coating as well. So that can cater for McDonald's or KFC need. Okay, so, and the elegant thing here is that you don't need to separate the waste. Okay, so if you have been following food waste digester for the last 2 years in Singapore, okay, food waste digesters, post-consumption food waste is quite tricky. Because when you take post-consumption, if you want to extract post-consumption food waste, you need manual labor to split it up. So, and who's gonna pay for this manual labor? So I think to some extent, there's an elegance here, whereby everything that is being thrown away, think of it as on a KFC tray or on a McDonald's tray, everything's being thrown away into the bin, we can take it and turn it to compost. Okay, so that's our digester. It comes in from a size of 200 kg all the way to 2 tons. I think we are looking at bigger tonnage, which is not really an issue because it's just in the size of the vessel. Okay, so I think this is a little bit of a hypothesis, if I can put it this way. I think where is the money in waste? It's like today, I think the challenge here is, can we find profitability in waste? Okay, so if you look at an average meal after consumption today, maybe it's around 80 grams. Okay, so the packaging itself for PET will cost 21 cents. This is all in Sing dollar. Okay, it goes to the landfill, of course, again in Sing dollar, Singapore context. Okay, you contribute to the landfill problem, and the total cost is 21 cents. Okay, if you look at nutria, cups and bowls, the price is higher. Okay, but I will ask that you zoom out a little bit, all right, to look at the whole ecosystem. All right, digestion has its expense, but there is money in compost. Okay, and at the end of the day, it's a zero waste outcome, and that's potentially an 8% cost saving. So I think down here is, how do we get rid of the invisible line between industry, get the industry to work together and work towards this outcome? Okay, because I think the industries tend to be quite siloed at this point. So where we are now, we have been developing our technology the last few years. So in Singapore, we are working with Sodexo and SETS, and of course, next year, looking to scale globally. Also very excited to share that next year we are coming out with a central digester system. So how does this work? If you have your McDonald's Singapore, which we haven't been in touch with, okay, well, if anyone have contacts, we'd love to get in touch. We can turn you into a zero waste restaurant if you switch over to our material. Okay, it is business as usual, your consumer use and throw as it is. Okay, we just take whatever is in the bin, we take it back, we'll compost it. So as I mentioned, this is applicable for fast food, food service providers, corporate canteen, cafeteria, food courts. So we are looking for partners, we are looking for people who's interested in this service, and if you know of any, or if you guys think we can work in any way, please contact us. Thank you.